Hi there, good morning. My name is Alka.
And I'm Rhea, and welcome
Welcome to
to our
our
show.
show. Wonderful. So today we're going to talk about Rhea, my amazing co-host, and how she's an author of this really amazing book that I have had a chance to read, and it's just phenomenal. And I love how she really goes into the book, deep into the book, but it's also self-explanatory. And that's what I love about it. So Rhea, maybe you could
Yes.
share with us, you were a successful physician. How did you get the inspiration to get into real estate?
My story is in 2011, I became an emergency landlord because I couldn't sell it. I couldn't sell my primary home. At that time, in 2008, US had a housing crisis. So even after 3 years, the US housing market was still going down. So I couldn't sell it for a loss. My agent told me that I could sell my condo for 180,000 and I bought it for 325,000. So in just a matter of 3 years, I lost more than half of it because I had to pay, homeowners association. I had to take care of it. I had condo fees. So it was more than half of my money lost if I sell it. So what I husband and I did was I became an emergency landlord. I rented it out. But during my ownership of that in the first few years, I was paying out of pocket. I had to cover my mortgage and my homeowners association all in was 3,200, 3,000 anywhere around that range. And the rent was only 1,500. So who pays for the other 1,500? You are looking at that person. You only have one unit, so it cannot cover no other unit could pay for the expense. So as a landlord having one unit, I was paying for the additional 1,500 to 1,700 just to keep my tenant in the unit. So
That
that's how I.
is, wow, that is amazing because, I can imagine how it must feel like, when you first get started and you only have just that one unit and you're thinking, okay, what if your tenants don't pay? What do you do then? Because then you're stuck. So I really admire as to how you managed to get through that, find a solution to really get you out of that. But you know what? I love the cover of this book. Maybe you could explain, how did you find the inspiration for this cover?
So the cover, so I'm a physician by profession. I'm a family medicine geriatric physician. So the name of the book is Apartment Prescription. Apartment because that's my business. That's what I do. I'm an investor in apartments and I believe in apartments. Prescription because I'm a physician. So I'm a physician. So that's why I prescribe apartments to everyone. So the script, that's my script that I used when I was working as a physician. So I took a picture of it, a screenshot picture, and then instead of prescribing medications, I prescribed the word apartment there. And so that's how I got the front picture. And then the color of it is inspired by our mentor, 10X Grant Cardone. So I use the yellow, the red, the white, and the black.
That is so beautiful. I absolutely love it. And also, I read a couple of your chapters. I've read your book, and it's very easy to read. It's very, you explain everything like step by step, the process that it takes to get into real estate, your background, and everything really kind of meshes together. And that's what I love about it. And could you explain, when people are wanting to get into real estate, what is the first thing that they need to do?
Well, the first thing that I did not do when I invested in real estate was not investing using my brain. I used my heart. I fell in love with the property, and I didn't realize that when you invest, you have to do your apartment math so that you don't get into trouble just like I did. So if I could go back, I would invest in myself first. I would invest in my education. I would read on books and then do the math and then look at the properties. And then when I'm confident about the location, the property, then I use my funds to buy the property. So invest in your personal development, invest in your education.
Absolutely, because knowledge is power. The more knowledge you have, the more I guess you need to do your own due diligence.
Yes, you
Doing
have
your
to.
doing your due diligence as to the market that maybe you're looking at, the neighborhoods that you're looking at is going to be the key. So that is, and you know what? And I agree with what you just said about, following your heart instead of your mind. Because I just last year when I purchased my second investment property, I was in that bind. I saw this gorgeous property. I'm working with a real estate agent, and we
Yes.
were driving around. This property was absolutely gorgeous. It's a detached home, it's a luxury home, it's a four
Wow.
bedroom, 3-story,
Wow.
3,500 square footage. But
That's awesome.
Rhea, but you know what? When it came to doing the math, because
Uh-huh.
I put down the down payment. I put the down payment down, but then I came to a sticky situation. I could not pay. I could not find the money to pay for the rest of the closing. So that's a sticky point that I faced last year. So I agree with what you're saying. Do not follow your heart. If it does not agree with you, if you can't pay for it, do not buy it. So
That's true.
that is
Be
right. So
intelligent.
exactly. Be intelligent, be smart when it comes to your investments. So this book is just so beautiful, and I just can't wait. Do you have like a second installment maybe that you're working on? What is that sequel going to be like?
Well, my husband and I wrote our 2.0 apartment prescription book. It's about passive investment or passive investing for landlords, for physicians who don't want to be active landlords. So hands-free physician landlord investing. And they can have it for free. It's in my apartment prescription Facebook page. So they can grab it there.
That is so beautiful. And you know what? Because investment is such a thing that we got to be wise when it comes to any form of investment, especially real estate. And people don't realize that real estate, although it looks attractive because it's a great vehicle if you're looking for financial freedom, but would you say that if you're a beginner getting into real estate, would you say there's some pitfalls maybe that they need to look out for?
So yes, so I would caution everyone to know the location first. So I invest in my own backyard. I do not invest in places where I do not know the area. Just like what Grant says, in a clock, you have to look at it as a clock. In a clock, if the area that's great is between 12 o'clock and 3 o'clock, the whole 12 to 3 o'clock is not the greatest. There's a strip, your second hand, there's a strip of that particular clock location that's the perfect spot. So you have to know that perfect spot in the clock. Now, how would you know that? If you know the market, if you know the area. So in the beginning, when we're starting out, it's great, it's best if we invest in the areas we know, such as our neighborhood, our backyard, or where you grew up as a child.
Also, I think social proof is very important too. Having the good social proof, people who have done it, people who have been successful, that maybe you could model, mimic, and master what they have done. So
I
because
agree.
right, and so I think that is so that's key, that's vital, because knowing who is successful, who do you want to go after, that has done it. So I think, you and I can relate to that, because you don't want to be in that situation. Like I said, I was in that situation, and I'm thinking, oh my goodness, how do I get out? And lucky for me, a lender, he came my way and was able to lend me money. But what Rhea and I want to share is that you do not want to be in that situation to start with, because
That's
now you've got
right.
the property. Would you agree with that, Rhea? Because
I
now
agree
you've got the
100%.
property. What would you do? What would you do?
Going to be a draining investment. So you don't want to start negative. Just like what Grant says, you want to make sure that your first property is a win. Otherwise, you won't be able to do the second one, the third one.
Exactly. And talking about draining, I do relate to that, because so now I did not know as to, for the clothes, I did not have the money. And I did not sleep that night. I did not sleep for the whole maybe 2 weeks, until someone, an angel, just came my way, and literally, thank goodness. But it's so draining mentally. You can't sleep mentally. I was not able to, like, that whole entire time, because it was on my mind. Okay, so I don't have the money. Where is the money going to come from? So yeah, so guys, be smart when it comes to your investments. And I think this is such an amazing book. It's such an amazing conversation that we will keep on having with you if you're serious about getting into investments, right, Rhea?
That
What's your
is
final
correct.
thoughts? What's your final thoughts?
So success leaves clues. All we got to do is follow the crumb. So we follow those people who have been into places where we want to go, because then all we have to do is reverse engineer their success. It's a lot of hard work. Success is not easy, but then we have to start, right? If we want to get to where they are, we have to act right now. We have to do massive action, and taking our first step by educating ourselves is the first thing we have to do.
Exactly. And success is never a smooth sail. It's never a fine line. There's always going to be, like, life in general, right, Rhea? I mean, I think about this, is life in general. It's never a straight line. It's going to throw you curves. And to me, that is like a testament. It's a test. Can you really be strong and withhold yourself to, the possibilities that you really have?
Right. Are you able to, go through the ups and downs of life? Now,
Yes.
I believe in, I'm a Christian, I'm a Catholic, so there's ups and downs in my life. And if you do not, or if we do not, or if I do not forget to pray every day, have a strong background on spiritual being, the God, Lord Jesus Christ, God, I would not make it today, because there's a lot of downs and there's also ups.
Exactly. And I think faith and belief is huge.
Yes.
If you don't have faith, you're not going to be able to move forward. If you don't have faith, you can't be an example to other people. Because if you're not strong, how can you be that example? So faith-based is so important, knowing that you are enough, that you are good, that you are successful is a long way. But Rhea, you know what? I absolutely love this. I love this
Thank
book,
you.
and everything that, it's such an amazing read. I love it. So guys, you know what? Stay tuned for some exciting conversations that me and Rhea are going to have, so that we want to inspire you and uplift you in every aspect of your life.
Right. So keep tuning into the Alka and Rhea show, and we'll see you on Monday, right, Alka?
Exactly. See you on Monday, guys. Stay tuned. Have an awesome weekend. Have an
That's
awesome
correct.
weekend.
Have an amazing weekend. We'll see you Monday.
See you. Bye.
Bye.